It's interesting, because I had like a love affair with HubSpot before I became a HubSpot customer. I was a massive fan. I mean, I remember being out in Boston and walking past their office and taking a selfie. I was a huge fan, and it consumed all their content, listened to the podcast, and eventually pulled the trigger and was super excited. And HubSpot does a lot right, but there's a few things that it just really let us down in a couple of ways. Like just a couple of practical things. When we first started using HubSpot, it didn't have the appointment rescheduling function like we were used to with Calendly, right? And that was kind of a bit of a surprise to me, that a software that was that sophisticated and that mature didn't have that. And also just being able to send SMSs from within HubSpot without using a third-party tool was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. So it got really expensive really quickly, and we were still using Zapier a lot to do a lot of stuff. And they were launching Ops Hub, which is like their own internal version of Zapier, which again was another price point to add. And you got to the point where, like, I don't mind telling you, we were spending about 45 grand a year on HubSpot. And that's a big chunk of change for any business. And we service agencies. I had a look at it. We jumped on, you kind of gave me a demo. And then I looked at the two things. I looked at the three things. I looked at the feature set, I looked at the price point, and it became an absolute no-brainer, because I was still, managing our sales pipeline. We do a lot of telephone sales, and I was in HubSpot, but also managing something like Allaware or Just Call for our text messaging. And I was like, this is crazy. Why isn't it just in one place? And so making the switch became a no-brainer. And now the only reason we're using HubSpot at the moment is because our membership website is still plugged into it, but we're in the middle of porting that over at the moment. So we're in the middle of kind of getting the integration between our WordPress membership website and high level fixed. And once that's fixed, we'll be sunsetting from HubSpot completely.